Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, yeah, my only son. Well, listen closely, yeah.
Ready? Do it. Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Skynyrd Shorts. Is this 15?
I think it is.
1-5. Wow, that's 14 more than I thought we would do. But as we've been planning, we've only got 431 other episodes to do. So we're going to be here for a minute. So I hope y'all are enjoying it. Once again, I want to give a shout out to all you folks leaving comments because you are part of this as well. And it's fun reading it, isn't it?
It's amazing. The turnout, the response, the things we're learning is incredible.
Yeah, a lot of you guys and gals know more about it than we do, which is what we're here. We're here to learn more about something we have a passion for pretty much all our life. So tonight's episode, episode 15, is called Best of the Rest, which means we talked about our favorite songs previously when Joe, he got them all wrong. I was right. So tonight we're going to talk about songs that weren't on the original albums that were released later. You ready?
So you can have a wrong opinion, I guess. I'm learning that you can.
I'm right. He's wrong. Okay. So the year after the plane crash, well, I guess it was 79. It was spring of 79. MCA released a record called First and Last. Now, you know, in the first picture, you can see Ricky Medlock and Billy, and, you know, this is like the first version of the band. And last, you can see the last incarnation with Artemis and Steve Gaines in there. And allegedly, it would be the last record ever released by Lynyrd Skynyrd. It's kind of like the Who's farewell tour. I saw the Who's farewell tour in '79, so yeah, I think it's still going on, right?
They never stop. The rock and roll stars never die. The producers don't let them die.
If you don't have this record, it's got some cool inserts of pictures inside that it's really worth getting the vinyl. I mean, it's just really neat. Of course, there's the Nebworth pictures on the inside, which is a really victorious moment for the band. But we're here to talk about what the best songs are on this record. And Joe, you want to take a look at the record listing and tell me what you think?
Well, I love this stuff. Was I right or wrong? I've always considered that my favorite song. Now, it's a dark...
No, wait, your favorite song by Lynyrd Skynyrd or just on the Rest of the Rest?
Did I talk about any other band but Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Actually, he does, but okay.
But I've always thought this one, I always considered it my favorite song. And it's just, it's dark, and Ronnie sings it so dark and beautiful. It's just a song that always got me. Preacher's Daughter, it's a pretty rocking song. Down South Jukin', The White Dove with Ricky Medlock. It's Ricky Medlock's song, and he makes it his own.
Well, I love the fact on those vocals with Ricky, he's using his high voice, which I don't know if they ever really used that in Blackfoot.
I don't know if I ever heard it.
Yeah. So it's really, it's striking contrast to Ronnie. Sometimes they don't even sound like Lynyrd Skynyrd. Well, it doesn't sound like Lynyrd Skynyrd, but they're great songs, I agree.
There's Lend a Helping Hand. Wino, I mean, Wino is a song in its own self, and Ronnie just brings that to life.
So I'm going to tell you the truth about this, okay? This record came out, and Down South Jukin' was a single. It was the one that got all the radio play, right? It was the song. But I, of course, ran out and bought the record on day one at Peaches in Memphis. And the song I couldn't quit listening to was Coming Home. I mean, Coming Home was a classic song from the first record. It should have been there. You hear the Billy Powell in it. You hear, you know, just the power in Ronnie's voice. You said the power in Was It Right or Wrong? But Coming Home, he sounds like he'd been on the road a long time and he's ready to come home. It was one of those songs where the music and the sound of the vocal, everything, gave you the same emotion that the lyrics were trying to say, right?
It is, and when you hear Ronnie and he wants to come home, anything he says that you feel with him, you're feeling it. You feel it the same way he's feeling. You know exactly what he means.
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing song, and here's the true fact. I did not really listen to, because of course I listened to Downside Joke, but was I right or wrong? I never paid much attention to it until I read the review in Rolling Stone. I'm sorry, Ronnie. I mean, it's just true. And the guy in Rolling Stone who reviewed the record said it might have been the best Lynyrd Skynyrd song of all time.
Whose opinion is that?
And I said, I need to listen to this a little more seriously. And over the years, I mean, wow, it jumped right up there for me too, just for the same reason.
There was a day that we respected Rolling Stone's reviews as well. Now that day has passed.
Well, that's all we had. You know, I would get the Rolling Stone every 2 weeks and read it from cover to cover. I would buy every record I could possibly buy, and I knew everything on the sleeve. I knew where it was produced. I mean, I can still tell you, you know, Jackson Browne's second record, Bob Haywood played bass. You know, I know all this stuff. And it's because this was so much fun. And album collecting, there was a used album store in Memphis that my roommate and best friend Brooks and I went to called Paperback Shack. I don't know how many records. Out of my 3,000 records out there, I bet 1,000 of them came from Paperback Shack because they were like 99 cents or $1.99.
When I'm with you to comic book store,
that was right down the street.
We were just flipping through albums, and I do miss that. And we saw so many different things learned just by flipping through albums.
Yeah, hours and hours we'd spend going through, and I always say, "Where's the new ones you just got?" And oftentimes you weren't paying attention to it, but the new ones they just got in had someone else's name on it, right? We didn't care. It was $1.99. It went straight to my house. I bought one guy's whole record collection one day, I think.
And the demos we picked up there.
Oh,
that were radio versions only.
Yeah, it's true. And I bought a lot of the King Biscuit Flower Hour records, the original acetate that they played at the radio station, because that's what they did. They send out a new record every week. So what's your favorite song on First and Last, Joe?
I told you. Was it right or wrong? It's my favorite song.
You know, you can almost put them into different classes of songs. You got the melodic, you know, to Coming Home, which I like, the whole feel about the Billy Powell stuff. You got the power of Ronnie's voice and Was I Right or Wrong. But Down South Jukin', I mean, it's a honky-tonk song, right?
Preacher's Daughter, too. I love Preacher's Daughter. I mean, that's, you know, they're blowing it up and they're having fun with it.
Just the subject matter is kind of fun.
You know, and it's rock and roll.
So we're going to move on from First and Last. But again, you should go to your record store. Get the vinyl. Pictures are great. I mean, you see Steve Gaines and his daughter. You see Ronnie and Ed. You see Gary with his first guitar when he... Man, that's a really weird-looking Gary. It's a little kid. Anyway, that's First and Last. So the next thing that I saw, which is interesting, I don't know if y'all have this. This was an import, and I'd go through the imports, and this was from England. I said, wow, something I never heard. And so there's the rear of it. England loved the Confederate flag. I'm not sure Lynyrd Skynyrd did, but this had I've Been Your Fool was the lead thing, and Gotta Go was in the back. I've Been Your Fool was, to me, it is all right. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't think it was, I could sell why it hadn't come out for so long, right when I got it. But it was important. Ronnie was on the cover. Had to have it. Had to have it. And then later, those same two songs came out in America on Best of the Rest, which is the name of this show tonight, our episode, Best of the Rest.
That's episode 50.
Yeah, and you know, we're not talking about any of these songs tonight, but this was the rest of the greatest hits. And I never dreamed the best song they ever did just happened to be on Best of the Rest. Remember that from our last show. Right? You don't argue with that, right?
Not at all.
And then the interesting record came out. This is called Legend. And on the cover, I got to put my glasses on because I'm old. It says, featuring the vocals of Ronnie Van Zant. Previously, who else would it be? Previously unreleased material, live concert versions. So this was, what year was this? 87. So this corresponded the same year as Tribute Tour. You look at those songs in the back. What do you like?
Well, I mean, it's hard not to go with One in the Sun. I love Steve Gaines' song. And Four Walls of Rayford is a very touching, deep song to me.
Yeah, it is. Truck Driving Man was the song that got the radio play. Once again, kind of a honky-tonk song, but you can see it was sort of a tribute to Lacey.
Who's he talking about?
Yeah, I mean, pretty clear.
The simple man, the truck driving man, his family, the people he was around.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend at that time I called Sweet Little Missy. Yeah. And a different version of Simple Man. This one was Steve Gaines on it. This was live at the Fox. Different from what was on the live record.
Didn't hurt anything, did it?
Yeah. And you know, once again, it was produced, I guess, Tom Dow and Al Cooper, because these were old songs. And everything about it is just cool. It's interesting to note that Four Walls Rayford was written by Jeff Carlisi and Ronnie Van Zant, which is kind of interesting. What's your favorite song on the record?
Well, I think my favorite song is One in the Sun.
Why do you like One in the Sun?
Because of Steve Gaines, and it's original Steve Gaines, and just the way he plays and sings that song, it just, I don't know, it's the difference. The difference he was going to make in Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Well, we all talk about the potential we lost, but the thing about Steve Gaines, if you think about the songs that he wrote and sang, Ain't No Good Life. And what's the theme of that song? I mean, it's depressing. It's from a guy who's being, downtrodden. He doesn't really see anything good, nothing good's happening to him. And then when you listen to One in the Sun, it ain't me, right? It's like,
it's not me. I'm not the one.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's like, and I presume these songs were written before he joined Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I think it was one of his songs he brought along.
But I have the original version that he did, and this version, One in the Sun, just blows. I mean, you bring in the Skynyrd band to a Steve Gaines song, and it's Skynyrd.
The Skynyrd Orchestra brings everything around.
Yeah, I mean,
it's what Ronnie Van Zant envisioned, and it's what he built.
Yeah, and even, we're getting off topic a little bit, but on Street Survivors, you had the song where they sang back and forth, and their voices blend so good and play off one another so much, you got that right. And Ronnie kind of let Steve take the lead in that song, right? The first words are Steve, right? And then Ronnie kind of picks in. But those two together, powerful. Just extremely
Like we
powerful.
discussed earlier, when you throw Leon in on some of that stuff too, he blends very well right into all of that.
As a backing vocalist, Leon was
Leon Wilkinson was a very strong player in this band.
He was a deal. And you and I actually saw the first Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band concert after Leon died. That was the first one. It was at Horseshoe in Tunica.
Oh, that's right. His hat was.
They had his top hat on a mic, just like they do with Ronnie's.
It was just right after that too.
We thought they weren't going to come.
It was very. Yep, it was very close to that.
Yeah, but it was all about the money. I guess they had to make the show. Anyway, so you like One in the Sun, which is hard to argue against. These are some pretty great songs on here. If you're really big fans of Ronnie Van Zant and Lynyrd Skynyrd, it's hard to talk bad about any of them. I kind of like One in the Sun. So coming from...
Isn't Georgia Peaches just a fun song too?
Well...
it's just a fun song.
You know,
we talked about how easy it is to write sad songs.
Yeah.
But man, they have some upbeat songs that are just fun to listen to.
Yeah, and sing along to. I think that's what's cool about it. I mean, I'll hear a Skynyrd song, like you got here today, and you were still singing a Skynyrd song you heard in the car. And I don't know, just something about it. Skynyrd lives, right? Skynyrd lives with us and with you. And so to end it all, Joe, what's the best of the rest song from both these records? What's the best song, in your opinion? You're an expert opinion.
You're the expert. Obviously, my opinion doesn't count.
Well, it does, kind of, a little bit. What's your favorite song, best song on all these?
Wow. I don't know how you can say. I just can't say best.
He can't say best.
I can't say best. Because, like I told you last time, whatever song's playing is the best song to me. Skynyrd song in front of me is the best. Whichever one's playing is the best one.
Well, you're a loser. But the truth is, he was right to begin with. Was I right or wrong? Is right up there with I Never Dreamed. I mean, this is Ronnie Van Zant, Lynyrd Skynyrd at their very best. One in the Sun, I think could be the best song. It's got to have Ronnie Van Zant singing, actually.
And
much I love Steve, but that's my thinking. And we're going to go
I'm glad we agree.
Yeah, I think so. You do agree.
You know, I told you I
can
love
make
that
up your
song.
mind. You
I
can make your
told
mind.
you I love that song.
So now he agrees. So I don't get to tell him he's wrong because he's right tonight. So we've been through the songs. We got some exciting episodes coming up. I can't wait. And actually a new show that we're going to be starting, a longer show that's going to be called Lynyrd Skynyrd Smokes. Tell you more about it later. Maybe in the comment section we'll start talking about it. But it's going to involve some video from Jacksonville, Florida. It's going to be really great. So anyway, anything else?
I think we got it.
Live at the Fox, that's Joe. I'm Mark. And we'll see you next time on Skynyrd Shorts.